Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Miss Crochet and Coffee here. And today I'm going to give you guys a little demonstration, if you will, of the 48 pack of Twimarkers that I received from Arteza. If you don't remember that video, I will try to remember to link it up in the eye. If not, you can always go back. I think I just unboxed them not too long ago on the channel. So if you would like to go see that unboxing, it's there. Either way, so I have ordered a case from Arteza for my gel pens. So as you know, I already have a couple of gel pens. These come from Arteza, as well as essentially all of them in here come from Arteza. This holds 108 gel pens. I don't remember off the top of my head. Uh-oh, I broke that one. I don't remember off the top of my head what I paid for them, or what I paid for the case, but I will link it down below. So yeah, apparently my little yellow thing got stuck in. Yeah, we're not going to worry about that. Either way, so these are the retractable gel pens. We have the metallic gel pens, and then we have our Twimarkers, which what are we going to use today are the Twimarkers. So first things first, let's find a coloring book. Hey, look, a coloring book. Now we got to find a page. Hey, look, a page of color. So, with our Twimarkers, we're gonna work on this. We're gonna work on Hello Kitty. So, you can either color along with me or just watch what I'm doing if you would like to see how the Twimarkers perform. So first things first, let's do some of these flowers. So let's see if we can get a yellow. And I have swatched these, if I can find my swatch book. I have swatched them. So as you guys know, I got my color charts book. And let's see, there's our Arteza. And it should have in here marked that they are the Twimarkers. Where did the Twimarkers start? As you can see, I did a lot of swatching this weekend. So those are Ohuhus. Alright. So the Twimarkers, I'm going to say start about here. Yep, right there. Twimarker. So I do have all the Twimarkers swatched out so I know what color is what. So we're going to put that on the side over here, just to keep as reference. And with the Twimarkers, they are labeled, so they do tell you, if I can put it the right way, they do tell you like the color, and like this is sapphire yellow. It has the brush tip and then the nib tip, and then I want to say they are marked. See if I can find a darker color to show you that on. They are marked. So for the brush tip, you're going to see, obviously the caps are clear anyways, so you're going to see where the brush tip is, but it also has, don't look at my badly nail polish. Anyways, so it has that little strip right there to tell you what the color is. So let's see. Are these true to color? So this says sapphire yellow. So sapphire yellow is this pale yellow right here. So let's see what it looks like in the book, shall we? Let's color a flower. And of course, this is the Hello Kitty book I received from Crafting with Christy. So we're going to get you down in the business here. So we're just coloring this flower here. And it doesn't tend to bleed a lot. There's not a whole lot of ink pouring out of them. Now, you do want to remember when you store your markers, you want to store them on their side and not necessarily standing straight up, because you want the ink to distribute evenly to both sides of the marker and not just one, especially when you have a double-ended marker. So, there's our yellow. Let's see if we can get, we have, are you going to focus? Are you going to focus? There you go. So we have our nib tip, or our fine liner, I should say. I'm sorry, it's a fine liner. Just to color in those little circles. And the tops are stackable, so if that's a question you might have. And then I want to go for like a brown color. Now, I think there's like one brown in this whole set. Yes. So I do wish they had a little bit more of a selection for brown, but we have sienna brown, which I believe is, nope, that's earth red. going to keep that out. There's my sienna brown. So we have our sienna brown here. Again, turn it around so you can actually see it. Sienna brown. And we're just going to do the inside of this circle here. And of course, with the brush tips, they're like little paint brushes. So you just paint your color on. Now, first question, I know you're probably wondering, do these markers bleed? Well, let's take a look. Now, remember, this is thicker paper. There is no bleed on the other side of this. Again, the ink doesn't pour out a whole lot like it would, say, for like a brush tip or something like that. So I don't think you'll have to worry about bleeding too much if you're using a thicker paper. But if you're using a thinner paper like in a Hannah Lynn or something, you're going to want to actually add that extra sheet of protection in there just in case. So we have yellow orchid, which is this color here. And we're just going to do the center of that. So we're going to do the center. And they do glide on really nice. And then we're going to use a fine liner to do a couple of these little circles. The fine liner is a little scratchy, but that could be just because how I'm using it. Uh-oh, they do smear. So you don't want to dig too hard because it'll lift up the paper. So let's see, let's do a red. What do we have for red? We have rose red. So let's see if we can find rose red in here. We have wild pink, fuchsia, coral, watermelon pink, neon pink, hot pink, bubblegum pink. There's a lot of pinks. I think they could have eliminated a few pinks to add a couple more reds and browns and, you know, some of the other colors. They deserve their due diligence too. So ruby red. Can't find rose red. So let's see. We have ruby red. And then we have, oh, there's rose red. So rose red is here. So you want to be careful, of course, so that you don't get that smear. And I do the feathering technique. So it's just putting your pen down and then flick it out. You're just flicking your wrist. Come around the side there. And then let's do a green. See, do they have a dark green? We have olive green, jungle green, apple, seafoam, emerald. I mean, like a, I don't know. What do you guys think? I think we're going to go with the olive green. So let's look for olive green. There's jungle. Olive green. There we go. We're going to do the leaf right here in olive green. So that's a little too dark. So next time we're going to go for, and you got to remember they are darker than they appear when you first put them down because they're wet. Let them dry and see what the true color is. So let's not judge it before it dries. And of course in the book that color is a lot lighter. Please forgive the noise outside. So we're going to go for a seafoam. Let's see if we can find seafoam. What color is this? That's neon green. And I do like the fact that they have them listed as what they are, because sometimes it can be a little hard to find them sometimes. Emerald, seafoam. Also, is the color true to... Like, the color is true to the cap. So, oh, sorry. Bloop. So, seafoam green is right here. So, if you look at those two colors, they're the same. They're the same. So, the color you get on this colorful cap here is going to be the color that comes out of the pen itself. And this almost looks like a blue. And then, of course, if you add more layers to it, it'll darken that color. But I do like that color. Then we're going to go for some rose red on some of these hearts. And you don't have to apply a lot of pressure whenever you're coloring, especially with brush tips, because you'll mess up the brush end of the tip. So just light pressure on the tip whenever you're coloring with the Twimarkers. We're going to do a couple in the ruby red and then some in the rose red to see what the color difference is. And remember, you know, with your coloring or any craft that you do, it's not a race. It's a learning process. You learn as you go. So don't think that you have to be better or as good as somebody else. You can just do your thing. I like this color. It's really vibrant. It reminds me of if you diamond paint or cross stitch, it reminds me of not quite 666, but almost. Which, if you don't know, that is a very bright red. So we got this going here. And then we're going to try, this is the ruby red. And this is a little bit of a darker, deep red. I do love that color. It almost looks like a burgundy, maybe. It's a really nice day outside, which is why you're hearing all the traffic from outside, because I have the back door open, getting some fresh air. Usually it's not this noisy outside, but it's the day after a holiday, so everybody's back to work and the hustle and bustle of the week has begun, just a day later. We're going to go outside here. We're going to get a couple of these. And I have to say, even if I wasn't an affiliate with Arteza, they have some really nice products. And I like the fact that it's not just for like artists. They have all kinds of stuff on that website. I went over there for their 15% off Labor Day sale to go look at some things and pick up one or two things that I thought I might need. So I think I need another marker case though, because I have a crap ton of markers now and I need cases for them all. So they do sell the cases for their markers separately. And it's funny too, because when I bought this gel pen case, I was wondering, because it was $3 cheaper than the marker case, and I didn't read the thing good enough. So when I got it, I was like, you know, why is this $3 cheaper? But it holds, I think it holds a little bit more than the marker case does. And I was like, you know what, sold. And then when I got it, I was like, oh my gosh, my markers aren't going to fit in here. And then I realized it's not for markers, it's for pens. And I was like, I didn't realize they had one for pens. So I was pretty happy with that. So I grabbed another marker case for the rest of my markers. And those cases are pretty sturdy too. So like, I don't have to worry about like storage or anything. They, you know, and with the discount, I think I paid like $20 some odd for it. So I have to say, like, they got good prices and stuff. I'm pretty sure you guys probably know that by now, because for as much Arteza stuff as you guys have been seeing, I'm pretty sure you've at least taken a glance at the website. If you haven't, you should go over and check it out. And of course, Arteza is always linked down in my description box. And of course, please do keep in mind that I am an affiliate with them. So anything you purchase using my link or my code, which the code only has another, well, by the time you see this video, I think the code Craft Crochet 1, that code will only have another 6 days left on it. So if you haven't used that code already, go ahead and take advantage of that extra 10% off your purchase. And that's already off of the sale price that you get. So if there's an item you want that's on sale, using that code will get you even more savings. So happy crafting on that one. Really like that rose, or the ruby. That was ruby red. This one is rose red. So rose red is the brighter one. We're actually going to do a split one. So for those who are wondering, how do the Twimarkers perform? I have to say they're pretty good. They're pretty good for small details. Again, if you have thinner paper, you're going to want to use that protective sheet underneath your paper, because it potentially may, because it's alcohol based. No, these are water based, I believe. Either way, it may bleed through your paper, so you're going to want to make sure you have you have that protection underneath, because you don't want to ruin another page by coloring another page. So they're not hard to use. And the color payoff is really nice. And they're really smooth. Like, you don't hear that same noise you would hear, say, if you were using markers. It's alright, you're hearing Daisy climbing up and down on the couch. Alright. So there you have it. The Twimarkers. I give them a thumbs up. I really like them. I'm going to keep coloring. So we're going to do, say, this flower here. And that's the cool thing with the case too, is, you know, it helps keep your stuff organized so that when you need to find it. And of course I have room for more gel pens if I have any more, which I don't think I do. But these are all the Twimarkers and the retractables and the metallic markers here. Sorry, I got to knock at the door. All right, so enough showing off my marker collection here, or my, you know what I mean. So let's color some more flowers. Yellow's nice and bright. Now, a question I was wondering is, can you blend with these markers? Because I tried blending with one yesterday and failed miserably. So we're going to try to blend. Yeah, and these are water-based, so you can use water to activate them if you want to blend, which would probably be easier than trying to blend like a regular marker. Also, always remember to replace those caps. I ended up leaving a cap off one of my markers the other day, and luckily it wasn't off for more than 5 minutes and it didn't dry out. But if you're, you know, absent-minded like me sometimes you forget, or, you know, something happens where like your house catches on fire, or if, you know, somebody knocks at the door, which happens often here for some reason, seeing as how I don't know anybody. I still get a lot of knocks at the door. Usually it's just neighbors looking for packages because, you know, the delivery services around here aren't the best, and they'll deliver your package anywhere. So the Twimarkers. I would just say be careful with that fine liner. They're smooth, but not as smooth as like the plain fine liners that you get, like the 102 pack that I was sent. They're not as smooth as those, but they are smooth. And you have to make sure you don't go over the same spot, you know, more than a few times, or it's literally going to pull up that the making of the paper. So let's see. Let's do another leaf. Because see how dark those leaves are? And then that olive green one was too dark, so we went with the Seafoam. See, it might come out blue, but it actually is a green color. Yeah, let's try some other colors. Let's get funky with it. So let's do fuchsia and neon green. I'm colorblind, I don't see it correctly anyways. So let's see. We're gonna do fuchsia flower here. Brush tips give you more control over where that ink goes compared to a nib tip. So I'm learning to use brush tips and actually starting to like them. At first, when I first got brush tips, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't like this. I don't want to paint, I want to color. And then I started using them more. And sometimes it's like that. I'm pretty sure it's not just me that feels that way. When you get something and it doesn't work the way you want to right away, and you kind of like, you know, you kind of just go, I'm not working with that, I don't like it. But then after you start actually using it, like you have to force yourself to learn how to use it correctly. And then you're like, oh, I don't know why, you know, I was ready to say, you know, to hell with this. I really like these. So sometimes you just gotta play around with it a little bit. Before I decide I don't like a product, I at least try to color half a picture with it. If by half the picture I haven't fallen in love with using it, then I know I'm not gonna like it. So let's do purple. What color is this? Violet. So we have a violet here. And as you can see, when they dry, they're not really streaky. So that's a plus. And I said we were going to try blending, didn't I? So let's pull out our notebook here after we finish this flower. And we're going to try to see if we can get them to blend together. I also wanted to order some of the Black Widow pencils. Laura Law's Craft Corner has some, and I think Stitcherista has some as well. Yeah, I think she does. She has the one with the case with the spider on it. I wanted to try those at some point. Probably not soon, just because I have so many already. But what's one more set of color pencils, right? Right. And I will be doing tutorials on like all the mediums that I have. So I've done tutorial on I think I use the Denote markers, I think, for how to color grayscale. I'm going to do another grayscale tutorial on how to use color pencil with grayscale and all kinds of fun stuff. So be looking out for those videos. Oh, also, October 27th. That is a Friday, but for those of you who are watching, you get the inside scoop. For those of you that don't like to watch my coloring videos, well, I guess you'll find out when that day comes. So I was asked by Nick and Tina Crafts. Nick and Tina, I want to say it's Nick and Tina Crafts or Nick and Tina Coloring. They know who they are. They asked me to join their color along. And I'm a newbie, but I figure by then, you know, I'll know a little bit about a little bit. They asked me to join their color along. The problem was my wedding anniversary is October 26th, and we haven't celebrated a wedding anniversary in 10 years. So we will be actually celebrating this year, but on the 27th, which is of course the day after that, my normal live time will be for the colorathon. So it might end up ending an hour earlier. But I wanted to participate in the color along with them because, you know, now that I'm getting into coloring and I've met a few coloring folks and really love watching Belinda over at Faithful Girl Coloring with Faithful Girl. Really love her. I watch a few of her. I've been in a few of her lives. And there's a lot of other coloring people I'm finding. C and C or CBC Coloring. I really like her channel, and Simply Aaron. I think I found her at the same time Stitcherista did. And Coloring Bliss with Jennifer Stay and her husband Steve. Like, I really am getting into all the coloring stuff, and so I wanted to join them for the colorathon. So I thought that would be really cool. Now, I will have to be coloring something Halloweenish, of course. So I will make sure I have all my colors ready for that one, because I love Halloween. Who doesn't love Halloween? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's people out there that don't like Halloween. But I think I like it more just because I spend the entire Halloween season saying, oh, that's going to be absolutely ghoulish. And for me, that's just funny and hilarious, and I'm weird like that. Don't judge me. So, yeah, so I will be joining the colorathon with the colorist. It's actually, you know, pretty nice to do something like that, especially seeing as how I never get to join the DP-a-thon because it's done on the weekends, and I feel bad making them rearrange their whole schedule just for me. Like, I'm nobody to be rearranging a schedule around. So, like, it'll be nice to be able to join that, and who knows, maybe one of these days I might actually join the DP-a-thon. But with the weekends, I can't do weekends because of the kids, and that's my family time, and you know, I can't give that up. So, like, I'm just saying. So I'm pretty excited about that. My chameleon marker should be here this week. I ordered the full set of them. So I'm pretty freaking excited about that because I've been practicing with the chameleons. And once I get the full set in, I will be doing a coloring demonstration with those as well. We'll color a mandala. We'll have lots of fun. So join us for that. There are going to be lots of coloring videos. But don't worry, for all my DP folks, I'm not quitting DP. I'm not leaving the community or anything. Right now I'm in between projects for my diamond paintings. One, because I hate that Jets painting and I'm not going to finish it. I've decided I am not going to finish it. I love my dad to death. I will find that painting somewhere else, but that painting is going in the garbage. The drills are just so sucky, and even though I'm halfway through it, I can't with that painting. It's causing me too much strife, and diamond painting is supposed to be fun, not stressful. So I will not be completing that one, but I will be right after this video ordering another one, which is the exact same image, just from a different store, and hoping and praying with my fingers crossed that I don't wait for it to get here for 3 weeks and then get it and it starts popping like this one. Like, I literally went to go pull the painting out the other day and 6 of the diamonds popped off, and I was just like, I can't do this. And I don't want to give it to my dad with the drills falling off of it. So where he wouldn't care, you know, what kind of gift do you give somebody that it just slowly falls apart? And the sad part is the canvas is great. The quality of the canvas is great, but the drill quality sucks. It was just one of those off chances that I ended up getting a canvas with popping drills. So, yeah. I guess we're doing a little color with me because I'm still coloring. I'm not sure there's going to be a whip and chat this week. I spent all morning this morning cleaning the house. So this video, you will see it the day after I record it. So I'm recording this on Tuesday, so you'll see this video on Wednesday. See, did I get all the leaves? I think I did. Now let's get some of these flowers. Let's use some other colors. Ooh, let's get some coffee. Coffee is very important to this process. And this is wild pink. Plus, you know, at some point I'd like to I'd like to host like a color along or something. Like, I would do a DP-a-thon or a DP along, but that means everybody would have to get the same design, and then everybody would have to wait for the design to get there, and more than likely mine would get here last. But I'll do all kinds of alongs with you. We can do a crochet along. We can do color along. I do all kinds of things. I like doing all the crafts. And as I was saying yesterday, I am the jack of all crafts, master of none. I get pretty good at doing certain crafts, but I wouldn't say I'm an expert in any means. I am not a professional. Like, I want Mr. Coffee to make me a little sign for my banner that says, Jack of all crafts, master of none. Because I think that just would be hilarious. So we're going to color this flower purple here. Don't worry, I didn't forget about the blending. Matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, before I do forget. Isn't that turning out cute? That's so cute. All right, so let's find a piece of paper. Now, this is my handy dandy book of random swatching, as you will. It looks like I'm making weird, like, animals or something in here. But I promise you I'm not. So we're gonna, okay, I didn't mark the page. So we're gonna do purple and pink. So we're gonna, I think this would be called reaching, where you use two colors that, you know, aren't exactly the same. Now, because it is water-based, you did get a little bit of blending there. I'll lift it up a little bit so you can see it. So you got some blending there. So they do blend together nicely. Again, they are water-based, so you can always take the water brush that comes with it and brush it on there to get it to, like, really fully blend in there. So there you go. They blend. But I think I'm going to let you guys go now. I think I'm going to go finish coloring this, but I'll let you guys go. So this was, you know, a little color with me / demonstration of the Twimarkers. I have to say they're pretty legit. I, of course, will link them down below. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and crafting along with me, whatever you're doing. So if you like this video and would like to see more randomness just like this, please feel free to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell, and make sure you hit all so that it tells you whenever I randomly post a video. Most videos go up at like 5 a.m. Central Standard Time, but you never know. Randomly, I will throw out another video just to give you guys a little bit of a treat. So don't forget to hit all whenever you're hitting that bell for notifications. But I'm going to let you guys go so that I can get back to finishing this picture, or at least this part of it. But yes, Twimarkers, I have to say, you know, they have their downfall. I don't like the fact that the fine liner kind of, if you press too hard, I should say, it'll rip up your paper. Which I think that might happen with all markers, to be honest. Like, how hard are you know, going at that paper? But if you rub it more that one spot, you know, for too long, it tends to mess up your paper. So I would suggest, you know, if you're using that fine liner in an area, don't go over it too many times. Like, okay, so we're gonna tilt you this way so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go right here. And it's a really fine, pristine point. So when you're doing this, you know, I use a feathering technique because going back and forth with this will rub your paper raw and essentially tear your paper. So I'm doing the feathering where I'm just like flicking my wrist with it. But again, you don't want to go over the same spot too many times because it will rip up your paper. So you have to be just a little careful. And they're a little bit harder. Like, they're harder than the fine liners you get in like the normal set. So like the set of 102 that I got. But they do the job, and then you can always go back over it with the brush tip and, you know, fill in those areas that you missed. Like that. So yeah. That's it for me today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you liked the video and would like to see more, give it a thumbs up. With that said, I'm going to bid you adieu, but not before reminding you, like I always try to. Zoom you out a little bit. To always try to be kind, be courteous, be cool. Bye, guys.